Am I financially liable for my college kids' mistakes? I'm attorney Michael Jenkins, and as an estate planning attorney, sometimes this question comes up. It's usually a scenario where we've sent the kids off to college, most likely they rented a place and trashed it, or heaven forbid, there was an accident and someone got hurt, and now there's a judgment order against the child. And it's usually a panic phone call saying, Michael, I have financial power of attorney over them. Do I have to pay this debt personally? And the good news is, no. Remember, they're legal adults now. So if there's an order against the child, it's theirs to pay. It does not extend to the parent once they're 18 years old. And just because you have financial power of attorney over someone, that does not mean you're personally liable for their debts. So the financial power of attorney lets you speak on their behalf and act for them, but it doesn't mean you have to personally pay their debts. Now, of course, if you personally caused whatever we're talking about as well, or in addition to your kid, then perhaps you have some liability there. But if it's just that your kid made a mistake, there's a judgment creditor against them, it does not mean that you are going to be personally liable for that debt. Now, another common question we get is, I have a trust set up that's giving some money to the kids, or maybe the grandparents are going to give the money to the kids through a trust. Can creditors attach to that? And that one's a little bit more tricky. It depends on the timing of the creditor and the type of trust that we have. But generally speaking, no. Almost all trusts are at very least going to have what's called a spendthrift clause. And that basically says if we're distributing funds from the trust to a beneficiary, and the beneficiary has a creditor at that time, we're going to hold everything in the trust until that creditor goes away, so that no trust funds are distributed directly to a creditor. Now, there's other ways to set up trusts to give even more protection for the life of a kid, as an example, but that's not necessarily right for everybody. But to summarize this one, you are not personally liable for the mistakes or debts of your adult child. Practically, you may end up paying it to get rid of the creditor, but legally, you're not responsible. Now, if you have any questions about estate planning in general or about asset protection perhaps, always feel free to give us a call, send us an email, send us a text. We're here and we're always happy to help.